I disagree with the last one he came up with.
AM 1500 KSTP.
Patrick Reusse, known to many as the Fifth Beatle. His career has had many interesting turns. And as a surprise to many, here's released footage from one of the greatest bands ever, discussing rejected Rolling Stone Patrick Reusse.
You nicknamed him the Tripper. Why?
Was the first victim of the star trip.
Trying to figure out where all this came from.
Especially once Mick and I started writing songs, I think he resented them.
Very offended.
A lot.
That was the low light of my trip.
Patrick's early involvement with the Stones is discovered with intimate conversations with his former bandmates in BBC interviews.
In the early years, many bands said that Pat was bad for the Stones.
The Clash, that was the ones that said that most. Yeah, I think it was...
Patrick, how would you rate the Stones without you?
He was a skilled cat.
Keith, what kind of worker was he?
He worked incredibly hard with me.
Good or bad?
In the very, very early days of putting the Stones together.
Charlie, describe Patrick playing the drums in the practice sessions.
In a way, it's a bit scary, but it's fun.
Yeah, I guess it could have been, but...
How did the band relax in the forming years?
I was using
drugs.
the best quality.
Oh, man. You'd never go to work again if you had that stuff.
Mick, what type of writer was Patrick?
He never played me a song he'd written.
Well, because I was keeled over and back pain and every other pain, so anyway.
What were the sleeping arrangements like on the
I mean,
road?
it's all a bit arrangey at the moment. You know what I mean?
No.
The other thing is, I could have stayed awake, couldn't I?
I'm in the bed, kind of propped up here now.
I'm in bed for an hour before that.
Good night.
Charlie, you were once addicted to heroin?
Last time, I was Dracula floating around.
These drugs are just a wonderful invention.
Patrick was often upset at the way the guitar sometimes sounded.
It was just a different way of turning an acoustic guitar into an electric guitar.
I don't know what it is, but
We were trying to get the best of both worlds, you know.
my last act was to bellow out.
How did Patrick handle the groupies?
He was very shy and all that, and I think he found it rather hard to lay it down.
We didn't have sex in 7 years.
And we probably didn't try and bring it out of him, probably.
Patrick, you once drove Keith to the
I
hospital.
could have just done without that.
What was that like?
Fluids that nobody preferred to look
And
at.
how did Patrick react to what he saw?
And his reaction and his answer to that was to sort of just get into being, spend more time shampooing his hair than he would making a record.
Patrick, what did you tell the band that fateful day you left?
I better go here. Goodbye.
Behind the music, with rejected Rolling Stone Patrick Reusse.
You ever hear that?